Good afternoon, folks. Mike Wells, your World Explorer. Today we're at the Sebastian Scrub Conservation Area. This is just a little place that I like to go to from time to time. I actually bring my little boy, and there are some things to see back here. However, I haven't seen everything. We haven't seen everything. Here's a nice little nature notebook for you if you're interested. Lots of stuff to read about. Now we're gonna go back here. It's raining, okay? This rain just popped up out of nowhere, literally. But that's how it happens in Florida. I'm gonna hang out in the understory of some of these oaks. What you're looking at right here is a live oak. Now this thing looks like it's repaired itself many different times. So there's going to be a lot of figuring and features within that tree trunk over the years. It'll look very interesting if you were to cut that and use it for wood. Now what you're looking at here are a bunch of palmettos. So those grow a lot of different berries. We should see them this time of year. If they are going to produce berries, they'll be popping out. Let's take a look back here and see what we can run into. Right there you're looking at an Eliade pine that is dead. Now, it's going to leave behind a resin core over the years. This one is actually relatively freshly dead. So once all of the termites and the bugs and stuff tear away all of this outer whitewood, that's when the resin pine core will reveal itself. I feature information on that very process in many of my videos. All right, so you can see the ground has a bunch of white sand, so it's kind of nice. We're going to take the path that goes to the left. Who knows what we're going to run into. Now over here, these seem to be dwarf oaks. A lot of people don't know what a dwarf oak is, but they don't get very big. And they do produce acorns. Do I see any acorns right now? Let's look. Oh, there's something right there. Look. You can see that acorn forming, growing right there. That's the acorn right there. So that's one acorn. There should be several throughout this patch. But you're looking at the height right there. They don't get much taller than that. There's a whole bunch of them too. I think I see two varieties over here right now. But these are cool because you can actually take the acorns and sprout them and plant these in your yard. Oh, look at that. There's a nice little treat. You got a whole bunch of lichen on the ground. Look at that. These things are really interesting because they look like coral, in my opinion. They have like this skeletal, coralline looking structure. I need to do more research on lichen because I'm not studied up on it. I just know that it likes to grow back here. It likes to grow in a lot of different locations, but specifically where the pine needles are and the pine wood, that's where I've seen them the most. Oh yeah, look at this. Tons of lichen right over here. Look at that, folks. Lichen everywhere. Wow, that is crazy looking. Some crazy looking stuff. Yeah, when you're just out walking in the wilderness and you see that, it's a nice treat. It's really interesting to look at and kind of just study. There's just so much of it though. Look at that. Really everywhere. Look at this. Right up in here. There's some big, this one looks like it's breaking apart. This one too. Very neat. All right, let's look up and over here. You can see some more lichen back there. Like if you ever get an opportunity to come out and visit this location, that's what you'll see some of. Here's a little bit more information if you're interested. So yeah, this is an area that they're trying to establish as scrub jay territory, so to speak. Here's a whole bunch of information about the scrub jay. Now, why they want to focus so much energy on the scrub jay, I'm not sure, but there are a lot more animals than just the scrub jay, but they seem to be so heavily focused on trying to reestablish the scrub jay. Wow, these dwarf oaks are looking pretty good, and they are growing really well back here. You see how bushy they look? Yeah, and they don't need any kind of help when you're trying to grow them in, say, your yard here in this part of Florida. So the fact that people aren't doing that is odd to me. Like nobody even knows these exist, and they live here. So this territory is very interesting. Let's see if we can find some wildflowers too. Whatever we can find, this is just an adventure. We're exploring and adventuring right now, and I want to see what we can find. There's evidence of some ants. I don't see any ants crawling out of that spot. But look, they've been active here recently, so maybe the rain chased them away, I don't know. Here's some more of those dwarf oaks. Really cool looking dwarf oaks. The leaves are nice, they stay green pretty much all year round. They shed their leaves, I think, once, and that's during spring. Look at those dwarf oaks, huh? There's so much character going on here, it's just incredible. I see some Japanese invasive vines up there. You see the stringiness? That's those vines. Man, this rain is trying to chase me out of here, so I'm gonna try and hang out as long as I can, folks, without getting rained out. Let's see if we can just bypass this altogether. I know that there's some folks that live there that have a dog that, if the dog's outside, the dog makes a bunch of noise. But he apparently isn't outside right now. Oh wow, look, some wildflowers. Look at that. Pretty yellow, beautiful little wildflowers. So pretty. Now they get prettier than that, obviously, but that's our first taste of some wildflowers. And this looks like a nice little nature trail this way. Where's a cactus? I haven't seen any cacti. I see some remnants. Ooh, look, boom. That's a cactus. I don't even know the name of this cactus, but I see these all the time. I think there's two different types that are very closely matched. There's the ones like this that have like no thorns or very micro thorns, and then there's the other ones with the huge thorns. So I don't know if they're different or in the same family, or I don't know what's going on. But look at these huge pine cones. Look at that, size of my hand. Big pine cone. They get way bigger than this. That's from the Eliade pine, or Pinus Eliade. Look at this cactus. Oh, look at this one. He's got big needles on him. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Cool cactus. There's better looking ones than this, so I'm gonna go find them. Let's go see if we can we can spot them. All right, we're gonna march on this way, folks. Let's keep our eyes open for some wildlife, for the cacti, you name it. Okay, so it looks like they chopped down an Eliade pine here, but what you'll see is this yellow, all that right there, all that, that's the sap, the resin pine that was left behind, the pine sap, or the turpentine resin, if you will. Back in the day, they used to utilize that wood for turpentine. Now there's a smaller type of pine that exists in these areas, and there's one of them right there. Let's keep walking through. I can't believe I'm out here in the rain. So this path is not is it the trotted path? I don't know. Okay, so this is weird. There are these shells on the ground. They're just, oh, I just hit that tree branch. They're just clam shells. I don't know what that's about, but I find that to be a little odd. However, this is Florida, and there are many locations where you will find shells all over the place. Wow, this place is beautiful. This is fancy looking. I don't know what that is on the ground, but look, it's got some type of special flower coming out of it. It's kind of bushy, very unique. There's a whole bunch of them. Look. Crazy, huh? Look at all this lichen on the ground. Wow. Okay, we're gonna come swoop right in here. Ooh, look at that lichen. Wow. So much of it in there. Let's just come right through here. Look at all that lichen. So much. So much to see. Oh, I just saw some lightning. Scary. I'm gonna just kind of sneak through here. Here's a remnant of something. I'm not sure. It must have been a bench. So watch where you're stepping back here. Sometimes you see situations like this where there are these remnants left behind, but very sharp screws and nails and stuff. You don't want to mess with that. So we'll just bypass that altogether. What's over here? Oh! Oh! Cacti! Look, this is not the prettiest cactus, but it's cactus. And then it's got another one over here. Look, look, look. This one was big at one point. See? All right, let's move around. It is raining. I can't believe I'm out here right now. Look at this beautiful scenery. Look at that. There's a lot to see over here. Wow, it's all white. The ground is white. This is fancy. Wow. I imagine years ago they came through here and were messing around with big machines and stuff. But now it's all been left alone for probably 60 plus years. And this is what it's evolved into. It's just kind of, nature is just taking it over, which is okay. It gives us more areas to play. Wow. This place is crazy. Look at all the cacti. Look, here's another cacti. Or cactus. Look at this cactus. Huh? Yeah, look at that. Big, crazy, scary looking needles. See that? Wow, too bad the flowers aren't on it. We could have caught a nice glimpse of some very vibrant, large flowers. Very yellow and beautiful. Look, this thing has so many unbelievable needles. Like, I would not want to fall on that. That would be painful. Well, let's hope to get some dry time. My gosh. This place is kind of nice though. It's almost like the rain just came and now it's doing what it wants. Look at this. This is totally filling in. Oh, look at that cactus. This is a nice fresh one. Look at that, folks. Not a bad cactus. Wow. That one is in pretty decent condition. Let's just keep heading back on this nature trail. Wow, it's like, I wonder if this rain is going to stop. Maybe not. Another cactus. Wow, look at this one. That's a cool. That one looks like it's keeling over though. So when it keels over and the rest of it falls onto the ground, then it will begin growing more. Look at this trap, huh? Holy smokes, those. Look at those needles. Don't run into that. See, there's so many dangers out in the wilderness. That should not discourage you. That should just cause you to beware is all. Be aware of what you're doing. All right, my phone is getting wet. Oh, look. More of this pretty pine here. This is the smaller version of pine in this area. It's got smaller needles, smaller pine cones. Yeah, these are nice. Not bad. The sky is dropping these huge plop drops all over the place. Let's go check out this Eliade pine. I'll show you the difference. Look at this. See those needles? Wow, those needles are huge. And look, it's got all that new growth. That stuff, those look fancy. I love the Eliade pines. They're just so beautiful in my opinion. Look at that, huh? There's so many of them growing back here now, willing to take the place over. Folks, I'm gonna have to hang it up for a minute. All right, folks, on our way back, we have spotted this huge gopher tortoise. Look at him. I'm not gonna mess with him. I just wanna see him. Huge gopher tortoise. He's just in there, hanging out. Eventually he'll move but I'm not about to hang out for that. I have to go. Well, folks, this rain is not subsiding and it looks like it's about to get way worse. So I have to get out of here for today. Sorry to have to cut this expedition short, but it's about to start pouring and it's about to get so crazy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as that helps the channel grow. And stay tuned because I want to come back to this location. There's a lot more to see and I want to show it to you. Have a great day.